Okay, I'm getting ready to pour the mold. Just to give you an idea what I'm going to do, first of all I took out some of that fiberglass we use for chiprock repairs out of the center of each coil. The reason for that is I want to make sure that it's really full of resin in there. I don't want any hollow spots. Also, I'm going to be using some reinforcements in certain areas. Like I have this woven material here. It's very thick. It's like a fiber of some sort. Very thick stuff. I don't remember where I got this piece, but I had a piece big enough to do the job. And I'm talking, this stuff is thick. It's like, I don't know, maybe 20 thou thick. And you can tell as you move it around, the woven shape changes. So I'm going to be putting these pieces over the terminals to reinforce the terminal area, to make sure that it's solid in case you torque up these bolts. Even though these bolts, the way they're square, they're going to impregnate themselves very solidly, along with all the nut, which is all soldered together one piece. So I'm not worried about it, but I had these pieces. I'm going to put them in. Also, I cut some round ones to fit inside the area of support where the stator is going to be actually supported. So this area here I find to be where all the strength is required. So I'm going to, besides the fiberglass cloth at the bottom and the top, I'm also going to put these pieces all the way around. I'm going to put at least two per side. One like roughly in the middle and a little higher, and then the other sheet of cloth at the top. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to be pouring this in several pours. But again, the pours are going to be poured one after the other. I'm not waiting for it to get hard. The first pour is I'm going to raise it up, and I'm going to put just a pour of just pure fiber resin. Nothing in it, just strictly fiber resin. But I'm not putting a lot. I'm putting just enough to make sure I have no air bubbles, and the whole bottom fiberglass cloth will be fully soaked. Then after that, in these areas, I'm going to reinforce them like with those pieces I said, these here. But I also chopped up a whole bunch of that stuff, and it's very, very thick stuff. You can tell it's thick. So because I want to ensure that the support is solid and this thing doesn't crack around here, I'm going to really fill it up with this in this whole triangular part in 4 areas. Here, here, and here. All the way around, all this part, I want it all solid, all solid. So it really, it's solid. Okay, what else am I going to do? Yeah, and also I didn't mention, but I'm going to be using, I'm alone this morning doing this job, so I don't have anybody to hold the camera for me. If you look here, the first thin pour is to impregnate the material. After that, besides the resin, I'm putting this inside. It's recycled glass, very, very finely ground. They use it for sandblasting. It's real glass, different colors, you can tell. And this is what I'm going to mix inside the whole pour. And the reason for that is because glass is a very good conductor of heat and cold. So I want it inside so that the whole stator will be able to distribute its heat evenly across. And then, of course, with this coil going to be going around the perimeter, I'll be able to splice it off here into a little radiator, and I can keep this coil assembly very cool. So I'm going to get going with the job, and I might not be able to show every part along the way, being alone and hands full. But I will update it a little further as I go along.